Hello from a wet and windy Ireland. Today we're going to be having the big reveal from the Hot Composter. I've been diligently loading it for the last couple of months with plant material and kitchen waste. I've been keeping it stirred, keeping an eye on the temperatures, and now it's finally time to find out, has it worked? Has it been a success or a failure? And most importantly, have we got nice usable compost? Fingers crossed. Hey everyone, how's it going and welcome back. If you watch my recent video, you'll know that I made my own homemade hot composter rather than buying an off-the-shelf commercially available one. Now, if you haven't already watched that video, check it out up here. This is the link that you need to go to. So check it out after you've watched this, or go and have a look at it now and then come back and see this. So I built this back in February and then got it going in mid-March. Since then, I've been feeding it with a mixture of kitchen waste, grass clippings from the garden, and then other garden waste like weeds and trimmings off plants and hedges. As well as that, I've been adding some paper and some bark, giving it a good mix, and then I've just been continually adding since then. Now, realistically, with a hot composter like this, you don't need to empty from the bottom until really it's getting to the point that it's full and you can't add enough back in. But the whole idea of a hot composter is that it makes the compost really, really quickly, like in under 3 months. So we're just on 3 months now. So I'm going to do it like a bit of a test. I'm going to open it up now and see whether we've got useful compost. Okay, so confession time. This isn't the first time that I've opened this hatch and seen what's going on behind here, but I've got a good reason for it, honest. So about a month ago, I noticed there was a plant growing out of the side here that looked deceptively like a little potato plant. Well, it was a potato plant because at some point I've thrown in a potato that started to grow and decided to take up a very happy residence in here. Well, I had to remove it. So I've already seen what it looked like back then, but it's going to be interesting to see now, another month later, whether the compost has developed well. So let's open it up and we'll have a look. Okay, it's looking promising. Yay! I'm actually quite excited because it looks like it's worked relatively nicely. So it's not too wet, it's not too dry, maybe a little bit dry at the sides, which isn't the end of the world. But more importantly, it looks like the vast majority of stuff has broken down really quickly and really nicely. So all that's left to do now is hook everything out. I've got a bit of blue tarpaulin here, which I'll use. I'm going to pull everything out and we'll have a look. So I thought it was going to take me about 10 minutes to dig that out, and I'd have about a small bucket full to show you, bearing in mind that it's only that depth that's coming out of the composter. In the end, it took me over half an hour, and check out the amount that's come out. I'm absolutely blown away, and to be honest, I'm actually really impressed with the compost that's come out of it. It's nice and moist, it's nice and crumbly, and actually it smells really fresh and sweet, the way a good compost should. Now, the only thing is, it is a little bit chunky. So what I'm going to do is pass it through my compost, my soil sieve, and then we'll have a look at the final product. But it is looking really, really promising. So as you can see, I've already been hard at work working my way through this pile of unsieved compost. Look how much I've got already. So I've got probably about 3/4 full of this big trug. I would say by the time I'm done, I'm going to have 2 full trugfuls of nice usable compost. Now, what I have found is there's a lot of material in this that I would choose to sieve out, and it became very clear very quickly that this sieve is just that little bit too fine for doing that, at least on the first pass. So I went to the local garden centre and I went to the local hardware shop in search of another compost sieve that had a larger grill, but no luck. So I had to have a look around the house, and this is what I found. It's the top off an old shoe rack, but it works perfectly. It's made of quite strong metal. The holes are a decent size that will let more compost through, but at the same time still lift out those really chunky bits. And it's done a good job so far. So all I've been doing is putting it on top of the trug and then taking handfuls of the compost and then rubbing it through. And then what it's leaving is the really woody bits or the bits that just haven't broken down. They can just go in the brown bin. So I'm getting rid of those. And then what that's left me with is this. It's a really nice compost. It's going to be perfect for digging into flower beds or for using as a mulch. It is still quite chunky, but that's all right for using for that purpose. But I wasn't going to stop there. I wanted to see if I could make a really nice fine compost, more like something that you would get in your standard bag of multi-purpose compost. So that's where this came in. So I took the already sieved compost, put it into this and sieved it again to see what came out. And here's what I've been left with. It's a really nice, fine textured compost. It holds water nicely and it's going to be perfect for potting things on, for putting seedlings in, or just any kind of job where a compost like this is just going to be that little bit too chunky. So to answer the big question, has the Hot Composter been a success? Has it worked? I think the answer has to be a definite yes. This compost is really good. It's got a nice texture, it's nice and dark, it's nice and rich, it smells nice and fresh, but coupled with that is that this has been produced in only 3 months and almost everything has broken down much better than I would have expected. If you then couple it with the sheer volume that's been created in 3 months, it's absolutely incredible. I'm definitely going to keep using it, and certainly this thing will take as much material as you can put into it, and if it's going to continue producing this quality and this quantity of compost, for me it's an absolute no-brainer. I really hope you found this video interesting and useful. It's been a really fun project for me building the Hot Composter, and even more rewarding now that I know that it works the way it's meant to and that I'm actually able to get decent compost out of it. And maybe it'll give you some inspiration to have a go at hot composting at home. So if you enjoyed this, let me know by hitting the thumbs up or leaving a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post my next video. And until next time, see you later.